FNAF World is unironically one of the most peaceful games at the beginning until you start getting headaches from getting stuck in the caves and not being able to get to the next area and rage quitting on the stupid rainbow. FNAF World is kind of like Undertale in a sense. It's all calm in the beginning and then it just seems like World War III just broke out as you progress. But besides that, it's not even funny. FNAF World is actually so hard. FNAF World is probably one of the hardest and annoying FNAF games. I have no idea what I'm saying. This intro is really bad. But I'm actually not going to be biased for once and go over the pros and cons of this game in today's video. But yeah, I present to you why FNAF World is the worst game. First up, let's start with why people hate FNAF World. So after just doing some simple research on Reddit, here's what most people said. The roster was so horribly balanced that in a game where it describes itself as one where you can take control of your favorite characters, it becomes less of that and more being forced to use the same aid that everyone else uses because the starter characters have no way to get better. You can make them stronger, but their moves aren't enough to defeat any of the final bosses. The game was poorly programmed, having a lot of the game be on one single screen. All the battles in Overworld, potentially more too, but at least that. To the point where there's long, boring load screens, and constantly. It's hard to enjoy a game where every time you want to go and out of a menu, you have to suffer through a 20-second load screen every single time. It was also simply rushed badly. Big example, when the game first came out, there was an exploit that let you beat the game in a few minutes. The glitch? Go into the glitch world, walk into Animdu portal, open a menu, when you leave it, the game will let you into its cutscene without even getting to World 3. The game itself feels less like a FNAF RPG and more like just a random RPG with FNAF thrown into it. The map is a random mix of biomes that don't blend together at all. If you don't want the game to have Freddy Fazbear's Pizza or Fredbear's Diner in it, that's fine, but at least make the transition from world to world be smooth. A carnival next to a fortress, next to an ocean, next to a graveyard, next to a snowy tundra, it doesn't really mix. Because the game is objectively as bad as an RPG, featuring an unbalanced roster where a level 1 Fredbear is better than a level 50 Freddy, moves whose functions aren't explained, and a poorly designed map. Love it, but the roster is horribly unbalanced and the game isn't very fleshed out in terms of gameplay. So basically, so far we have that the roster isn't really fair, the game could be glitched to the end, long load screens, poorly programmed, and the worlds don't really make sense. Next up, onto the reason people love the game. Again, after research on Reddit, this is what most people said. It's pretty simplistic for RPG standards, but the soundtrack is incredible. Actually agree, I had lots of fun with FNAF World. I have played it many times. It was just a silly spin-off. Considering there's great many people who love to theorize about FNAF, but dislike playing horror games, the very first canon game they probably played was FNAF World, and the only game they can enjoy playing without getting scared. It's unironically the best FNAF game they ever played. So basically the pros are amazing soundtrack, fun to play for some people, good for people who don't want to play a scary FNAF game, and silly and cool art style. Yeah, but overall this game is mostly bad, but let's be honest, everyone criticizes the FNAF spin-offs. Even the newest game, 5 Laps at Freddy's, has been getting hate and criticism. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if someone likes it or not, because they probably have a decent reason, and it's just their opinion. But yeah, thanks for watching.